What's up, you guys? This is Robert at Shy Bears Plus with a quick little video here. Want to talk to my friend Jeff at +_shy, and don't forget to follow us on all the Twitters. On Shy Bears Plus, Instagram, and newly Facebook. Check out Jeff at +_shy, and then like this video, subscribe, smack the bell. But Jeff was in attendance at the Week 14 matchup with the Rams at the Bears, and I just wanted to get some of his takes from the environment and the atmosphere, what was going on at Soldier Field. So, a couple of questions I had for you. Watching at home, it was as loud as I've ever heard the crowd. I know that you've been to some games before, and I actually talked to another one of my friends, and they said it was louder than they've ever heard it. Would you concur? Was it deafening loud?
Yeah, it was probably the second or third loudest professional game, including baseball and basketball, that I've ever been to. I was actually quite impressed at the atmosphere. You could see how much I participated by my voice. But the crowd always brought it. Mm-hmm. Also, the PA announcer tells you to bring it, as well as all the flashy things on the Jumbotron, the decimal meter, everything. They got the siren going on, which is great because I think it affects the play call from the opposing team because they shut off communication from the head coach to the quarterback with 15 seconds left to go on the play clock. So they have this loud-ass air siren going on for like the first 10, 15 seconds of the play clock. So, and that seems very rampant in the league. So it's not just a Bears thing, but super loud, very impressive.
I heard on the broadcast, or maybe it was during the radio today, that McVay will actually try to talk all the way to the 15 seconds. So they try to get the play call in as soon as possible, lined up, and then he'll try to make reads or make adjustments from there. Or, try to find him where his primary and secondary receiver was. So he did look a little lost. So it seemed to do the job. It seems like Nagy wants to bring that noise and that atmosphere like he had at Kansas City. Another question.
I think he's inspirational, and he's communicated with that for sure. But I just wanted to add a quick note that before the game, and the Bears got the ball first, so. And I think there was that interception. There was a little bit of apprehensiveness in the crowd while the drive was happening and after the interception. But after that interception, and the defense came out on the field, it was a totally different place. Everybody's confidence was roaring, and it happened all game long.
All right. Air siren. Do you feel like it's cheesy? Is it weird?
No.
Does it bother you? Because I thought it was kind of cool to have some sort of an identity, and I feel like a lot of people have a lot of different niches, and I'm not scared to have a 13th man and have a whole that's our thing, and to create that I think is super cool.
Yeah, I think like I said, it's widespread throughout the league. Mm-hmm. The Vikings have been doing that air horn or whatever for
Gale-horn.
So. I think I think it's appropriate. I'm not sure if it fits with Chicago or the Bears, but it does the job.
Yeah, absolutely. I just saw a lot of people on Twitter during the game that were complaining, thinking it was cheesy or kind of weird. So I just want to kind of grab your take on it because I had no problem with it at all.
Let me just say the sound system at Soldier Field is unbelievable. Like the bass for all the sound effects and the rap songs and it's so loud but perfectly tuned. It's unbelievable.
Cool. Cold weather. All right. I had another friend who was actually sitting probably 20 rows behind you that I talked to earlier today, believe it or not. They couldn't believe it that you were in the same section when we spoke, but he said it was cold, and he said that he saw numerous times with Gurley and Goff running to get jackets, and most of that team looked like they didn't want to be there at all. It was so cold. How was the cold for you personally, number one? Number two, how did it look on them?
For me personally, I being a Midwesterner and doing outdoor activities, I could prepare for it. But with that being said, I'm not trying to run a 4.340 in pads and out, evade a Mac or,
right.
Roquan Smith or something. So dressing how I dress with ski pants on and, multiple layers, it doesn't affect me. So, like, it was cold. It certainly was cold. It was the coldest weather day that I'm sure Gurley or Goff have ever played in. And it was like a wind chill in the teens by the end of the game. Yeah, so there would be a 30-second timeout, and they would put a jacket on like Gurley and Goff, and like the jacket would be on them for 7 seconds, and you ain't warming up.
Right.
And it wasn't windy, so it's like they didn't want to be there. You could tell that it was slow moving. The football was moving slower throughout the air. Players were moving slowly. A couple of Rams players that Randy McQuaid, the long snapper, came out there high and mighty with no sleeves on in the first half. He had sleeves on for that second half, and he probably had multiple layers on. So they thought they were cool. That was some bear weather.
Yep. I know that you and I spoke about the whole bear weather phenomenon in our shows and Miami weather, and I used to poo-poo it, but I feel like this is 2 times where we've seen that the weather does have a factor more than we give it credit for, probably.
Yeah.
That we, during our shows or just in our conversations with our friends.
Yeah.
I just wanted another quick point, I guess a statement about the noise. There was a point where I could hear on the crowd mic, while you guys were getting loud, they're going, he can't hear the helmet, he can't hear. Like you could hear it on the crowd mic in the atmosphere in the background. And I was like, yeah, they must be getting real loud down there. That's when I realized when it was real loud, because you could tell it was messing with them. And then the announcers started talking about it. So, final thoughts on the atmosphere and everything, and then we're just going to close this thing down. It's a quick video for people.
Electric, confident. Yes, there's that apprehensiveness, but, you're going into a game. And nowadays, crowds are a little more subdued when the team has the ball. So, you're not going to be as loud. But people were – I don't think people had a lot of doubt that they were going to get smoked or anything like that. I think there's more confidence in the building. And people were ready for a win, and they knew their role, and they really stepped up. And, it'd just be wonderful if we could get 2 playoff games. I mean, obviously we just want 1 at this point, but you give us 2 home playoff games, man. It's looking really good. So tough to play at Soldier Field right now.
It's awesome, man. Thanks again for doing this with me, in addition to our other stuff that we do. So I do appreciate you. I'm Robert at ShyBears Plus, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and this is Jeff at +_Shy, and I'm doing it for you. That's all she wrote.